What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here in the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Thursday after missing Wednesday edition of MLB and NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I apologize that I was not able to be there with you on Wednesday. I was in the premium Discord I was not with the premium Discord Tuesday. I was with them here on Wednesday, but you guys missed out. I apologize. But anyway, I'm back to it here. We're ready to rock for these. What do we got? 6 games in the MLB streets, 5 in the NBA streets. I think I got that correctly, but that is neither here nor there if it is flip-flopped, because I guess I can always just double check and look at my actual columns. Here we go. I had that correct. I didn't even need to double check, but anyway, let's get to it. I don't have a lot to talk about here on the front end. Producer Jacob, he's ready to go to Europe. He's got his backpack set, his boots tied tight. Oh, he doesn't get any fight. Oh. Anyway, Bet365, we'll talk about them. They're damn good. Fine. Sakatio one more time. Get low. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about, even on this short slate. Let's get to the leans in the MLB streets. Then we go likes in the MLB street. Then we go leans in the NBA. Only one NBA play, but a lot to talk about there. So without further ado, Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. We begin our boarding walk here with the White Sox Guardians, and I'm just going to kind of work through each one of these individually. We've got a guy that I'm pretty familiar with in Gavin Williams at this point in time, doing a good job of limiting the hard hit and barrels so far this season, but only an 18.9% K rate, 10.8% walk rate. There's certain teams that he's going to be surprisingly mow down. I do think this is a strange spot because you have guys like, Andrew Benintendi dinged up already. I mean, we're looking at a White Sox lineup that has like 1.5 major league hitters. I kind of like Matt Tice at times. Andrew Vaughn, I guess, is definitely one, and Luis Robert is absolutely one. So 2.5 at the moment. Nick Maton trying to work himself into the conversation. Austin Slater against left-handed pitching only. But over 7.5, I just don't love the weather. I really don't. There's a lot of precipitation sitting in the area, and I'm looking at humidity. This is played up for lefty power, but who's the lefty power on the White Sox side? So basically, you could go over 7.5. You could also look at the team total on the Cleveland side. But, man, whenever you're dealing with the bullpens of like the Guardians specifically, talking about the full game total, it's hard because I love what they have in the 8th, 9th inning. I think everybody does. It's pretty hard to say anything bad about Clase. Anyway, Milwaukee taking on Colorado, ended up on the over of 9.5. Now we're looking at 10.5. It's adjusted kind of correctly for what I was looking at, which is probably the best hitting environment we've had, period. Getting warmer out there in Colorado already here on April 10th for you listening to this on Thursday. Quinn Priestman and Ryan Feltner on the other side. Not a huge fan of either pitcher. I don't think most people are. But it just comes down to 10.5 being a gigantic number. Want to look at some of the bullpens coming off of this game that just went to first pitch like 35, 40 minutes ago. Haven't been watching any of it because I just keep watching Luka score. Didn't bet his points prop. Seems like a mistake. Anyway, we've got ourselves Toronto and Boston. First 5. Now, this is probably the closest out of the 3 that are on your screen to being an actual play. We do have a team in the Blue Jays and the Red Sox that are in the 11th inning, top of the 11th inning as I'm talking to you right now, and 1-1 ball game. We're going to see a couple of these main relievers. In fact, we've already seen Chapman come in for the Red Sox if you were watching that game. Winkowski just came in to start off this 11th inning. I know that one. So there are some dudes out there. We're getting some opportunities. I ended up on Bo Bichette home run. Hopefully, he's at the plate. I might have to actually watch that in the corner of my screen, but over 4.5 first 5, purely because the bullpen, but this one's very juice heavy. So I think we're going to stay away from it and wait and see if there's another book that'll open something inside of -130, but much better hitting environment here on Thursday than what we had in Fenway on Wednesday. Wind blowing out towards the Green Monster as opposed to pesky pole, where lefty power doesn't play as well in Fenway Park. Fenway. Yeah. I'm done talking. Let's get to the play, shall we? But first, promo code Lindy5, friends. Lindy and Friends, the exclusive Discord, just $5. That's less than $1 a day to come kick it. You have questions, I've got answers. I've also got pick'em cards that we're firing up. I also have an opportunity to share everything that I am researching, working on. Take a look. It's in our book, Reading Rainbow, Reading Rainbow. Lindy5, friends, only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Even though I don't have to do that, read it is very important. Alrighty, let's get to the likes. We got the Angels. We got the Rays. And oh boy, Kyron Paris. Was going to do a Paris bit. I don't know. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Eric. Kyron Paris is really good at baseball, apparently. And first guy in a while, but 18 total players in baseball have ever had 4 home runs and 4 stolen bases in their team's first 11 games. Well, guess what? He just went to 5 because he double-donged today. But I want to point out the hard hit across the board here. Now, you have to make contact with the ball. So if you have a high strikeout rate like a Logan O'Hoppe, 32.3%, it's problematic. But Zach Littell, only a 20.4% K rate. So when you see 272 xWOBA, 221 expected batting average, 357 expected slugging, not as impressive to me, because if you can't strike out Logan O'Hoppe, he's going to find ways to smash baseballs. 831 expected slugging in the early portion, 27.8 degree launch angle. That's almost like too high, which is kind of, neither here nor there. Again, 25, 26, 26, like that's really where you're seeing the ball shoot like a rainbow. Oh, I already did the reading rainbow bit, so that's ironic. But as much as I like Jorge Soler, who has crazy good numbers there, as much as I like getting to a number of these pieces, Travis d'Arnaud, whenever he's catching for the Angels as well, you'll see some DH opportunities there. Taylor Ward, Mike Trout, obviously. But Kyron Paris, despite his heater, it's still Logan O'Hoppe season for me. I think we're going to be looking at him against Kyron Paris. Took the night off of betting the Angels home runs on Wednesday. I'm back in business here on Thursday in the afternoon. Yes, we're getting afternoon baseball. That only helps the cause out there in Tampa Bay. Remember, not in Tropicana. We're at Steinbrenner Field. Logan O'Hoppe home run. It is a quarter unit play for me. 2 more plays. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bells. We talk Minnesota, Kansas City, and Minnesota, man. They just try to cause me physical pain every single day. Like, they're up 2-0 right now, bottom of the 6th. See how long that lasts. Joe Ryan's pitching pretty well, though. That makes me happy. That gives me a little bit of hope, and hope is a dangerous thing. That's what Morgan Freeman taught me. Shawshank Redemption. You all know it, but we all know these pitchers, too. Bailey Ober, it's so... not Jover, but Ober sometimes. 13.9% walk rate, 13% barrel percentage, 392 xWOBA, 56.5% hard hit, and high launch. He is a fully operational home run station is what he is, and that is not what we're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for, but that's okay, because we're not going to exactly go out of our way to back Kansas City here either. On the other side with Waka Waka, he's got fly ball problems himself. He's figured stuff out to some extent, 37.9% hard hit. We've seen just him for years and years and years and years. And now a 5.01 expected ERA, worse than the 4.05 he had last season. A little bit of a revelatory year for him, but the max exit velocity, he gives up power so much so to the other side that it is hard for me to really look at Michael Wacha and not want to look at the home run markets for Ryan Jeffers, Carlos Correa, a number of these guys. So I'm going to be looking for power, going to be looking for maybe some speed against Wacha here too, but we don't really have that in the Twins lineup, unfortunately. So we just have to play the over of 8 for now for a half unit. It's a little juice heavy. Hey, 8.5, that's kind of the prevailing number most places. If you get that at minus 110 or better, sure, throw it into the card. But over 8, that's where I played at minus 115, minus 120 now, the current available number on FanDuel. And our third play on the MLB side, we got ourselves Philly at Atlanta, and gotta say, Atlanta, woof, oy vey. Top of the 6th, 1-0 they're down. They need to find ways to win baseball games entering Wednesday, 2-8. Marcell Ozuna getting home runs stolen by guys who are position players on the infield. Edmund Sosa playing the outfield, left field for the first time in his career. Unbelievable snag. That was just the epitome of the pontification of the Braves so far to this season, to this point of the season. Gotta tell you, we just have to stay the F away from anything that has to do Atlanta here at the moment until they start riding the ship. And as much as Spencer Schwellenbach is a G, not just because he cashed us the over K props and absolutely put his body down and winded it all around the Miami Marlins, but we got Jesus Luzardo, a lefty on the other side, 165 expected batting average, 41.3% K rate, and we're starting to get into the point of the season. I don't want to make it gospel, lefty-righty splits, but the Braves, 54 WRC plus, that is 25th in baseball against southpaws. So best of luck to you against a pretty damn good one, by the way. The Phillies, confirmed pretty good against righties, 128 WRC plus, 6th best in baseball. So there's a huge disparity. And yet we're getting plus money because it's Schwellenbach. And I think the books also expect the Braves to positively regress. Well, I expect myself to take value when I see it. So Phillies, we're going to take them in Atlanta. That's just really what it comes down to. Plus money tag closer to 52-48. And that is on the Philly side for me. Could be borderline lock territory if it gets any worse of a number, but a like half unit play for now. Here is your top play of the day. Bet 5, get 150 over at Bet 365. That is an awesome opportunity. Now, you have to deposit $10 or more, and you have to be in one of these states. Listen carefully. Arizona, Iowa, Colorado, Indiana, Illinois, Louisiana, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, and North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off, twist around your head, spin it like a helicopter. And then deposit $10 at the link below. Bet $5 on anything with minus 500 or greater odds and get 150 in bonus bets. What could be better than do you like my sweater? It's only for 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. That was the time for that read, and I screwed it up anyway. Producer Jacob, let's get back to the picks. NBA time. Lego. We went on a little bit of a heater over the course of the last month and a half. Made a lot of people money on this video. Made a lot of people money in the premium Discord. Not just because of home run plays in the MLB, because, well, obviously those were really good to start off the season. A little bit cooler here to begin off my week so far. We've had some bailouts. Again, Logan O'Hop on Sunday. That was very, very nice. Found our way into a little bit here and there, but we got to get ourselves on track with that again. NBA's just been on track. And even with these losses, I was recapping Tuesday and going through my sheet and my bet tracker, and under 238.5 Washington, Indy, absolute slam dunk. Onyeka Okongwu over 24.5 points plus rebounds, absolute smash. And then Minnesota and the Lakers were like 99% cash out of everything that you had down going into their fourth quarters, and most ridiculous runouts to go 2-2 on that day. I can't even tell you. Minnesota lost to the Bucks by like 30 in the fourth quarter, and then the Lakers, Luka Doncic gets ejected, and now he's taking it out on the Dallas Mavericks, as he should, for what it's worth. But remember, we have a lot that is in play here, and that is why I'm going to talk you through the leans and the playoff scenarios for this. I think that's the best use of our time because there's going to be unexpected news that pops up. Let's start with the Knicks and Pistons. And this one is kind of interesting purely because there is playoff implications that exist in it, and that doesn't exist in every single spot on today's card. So you got to keep that in mind. But we got the Knicks at the 3 seed. This is kind of their opportunity to solidify themselves as that 3 seed and not have to worry about anything because Boston and Cleveland are so far ahead, you're not going to catch them. They are currently 2 games up on Indy, which we will be talking about here in the next game. But the Knicks getting 4.5 here going up against this Piston squad, like, I think it's close to fair, but I still think it's probably 1.5 away. It's just purely injury news that you're going to be sitting on. And it's just really hard to know if the Knicks really want to go all the way in here. They rested Josh Hart and OG Anunoby already. You're going to have Miles McBride, Mikal Bridges is still in there for now, and Precious Achiuwa, more than likely an interesting prop guy in the event that they just pump this game, take Cat and Brunson and remove them a little bit earlier. But as it stands right now, if I just play the normal minutes, the 36, 38 you're looking at for Brunson and Cat, I would be on the Knicks side. Cavs Pacers. This one also carries some interesting storylines because you have no Donovan Mitchell and you also have no Evan Mobley. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, you also don't have Darius Garland. Those are 3 huge pieces, the 3 guys that lead the Cavs in usage in terms of minutes played. And just unbelievable how good Ty Jerome's been here. But I want to point out one thing. Ty Jerome's been so good this season off the bench that they might try to limit his minutes. And Craig Porter Jr. is off the injury report. That came in, the injury reports for night before. I was just kind of like scrolling through it here for the evening slate here on Wednesday night to see if we could find any other value under 3.5 rebounds for Jalen Green. Hopefully he only plays the first quarter. That's what I'm looking for. But I think this one has a ton of prop interest with Craig Porter Jr. potentially playing 26, 28 minutes because he's not in the playoff rotation. The Cavs are playing for absolutely nothing. He can go get usage out there. And you play alongside Sam Merrill, very low usage, even though he's a sharpshooter, and that's why he's there. Javonte Green, Jalen Tyson, who we've seen at times this season. He's going to dominate usage in the second unit, and if they rest the likes of DeAndre Hunter and Jared Allen and Ty Jerome, these important pieces to this team, Isaac Okoro even, somebody that mixes into starting lineups, Dean Wade mixes into starting lineups, I think we could see a massive piece of value with Craig Porter Jr. single game parlaying his points, rebounds, assists, everything together. Onyeka Okongwu, that one should speak for itself here at this point. Atlanta, they still want to win basketball games. They're in the 8-hole right now. Orlando ended up murdering the Celtics as the Celtics rested everybody here on Wednesday. But I'm on high alert for Okongwu props because he's just cashing us tickets. I mean, he just has been religiously. I got mad at him like 1 or 2 times. But you know what? For the most part, I can't complain. Like 44 points plus rebounds, I think he finished up with last time out. He's rather good and has the front court and playing massive minutes all to himself. Yeah, they're never going to have Clint Capella on that team ever again. Anyway, we got New Orleans and Milwaukee to round out the lean section. But again, this lean section, there's a reason that it's longer than normal. Well, we only have 5 games, and I want to give you the best information. But the Pelicans and the Bucks, this is a huge spread, 15.5 that you're looking at. And I think it's deserved. I think it's actually pretty efficient. However, at the same time that I think KPJ could go into the CPJ conversation we had with the Cavs there, I think that there's an opportunity to go to Ryan Rollins, who I think has multiple ways of having it pan out for him in the starting lineup, closing lineup, lots of ways where I think his minutes go up. And that's hard to say about anybody else. So I look at New Orleans, I look at the Bucks. I think you really want to look at props on both sides. Carlo Matkovic, hey, how you doing? He's on the Pelicans side. Let's get to the one play from the NBA Streets, official play that is. Finishing out our program, my Minnesota Timberwolves, still mad at you. The epic collapse that was against Milwaukee did not end up cashing that ticket. It was, again, like 99.4% expected win percentage going into that fourth quarter. And they lose outright. Giannis, Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent, just was awful. Anyway, they're taking on a Memphis team that Taylor Jenkins is not the coach of. And I went through some of the rotations here from this last game purely because I wanted to see what it is that we can expect from Memphis going forward. And I think it's definitely a new complexion considering Jalen Wells, one of the worst injuries you could possibly run into, ended up just blowing his wrist up, awful stuff. And, I don't think that was something that was intentionally done, but obviously didn't look good at the moment. KG Simpson, it was from Charlotte. But Memphis, this is just such a tough back, even at home. Everybody stacked in the West. We know how important this game is to both teams. Memphis is at 7th, Minnesota's at 8th, but both teams have the chance to vault up. We'll see how the Los Angeles Lakers do here. They could solidify themselves for a 3, 4, or 5 by winning this game and moving on if Memphis loses this one. Minnesota wins, well, you're talking about a different scenario, but that kind of puts Minnesota's just everything out on the table. You want to try to avoid this play in any way you possibly can. And I think that just comes by increasing the starters' minutes. And when you do it for both sides, it's going to look a lot better on the Minnesota side than what it's going to look like on the Memphis side when you start increasing rates for Vince Williams Jr. and Zach Edey, because Rudy Gobert, 40 minutes of him defensively, Julius Randle, 36, 38 minutes, even though sometimes Nickeil Alexander-Walker plays so well that you just can't have him out on the floor, or you have to have him out on the floor over Mike Conley. Just lots of ways where Minnesota has the mixing and matching and the right pieces to really disrupt Memphis and what they want to do, which is push the pace. 234.5. We've seen that all season long. You know how much that grinds my gears, but we're not going to the total. We're taking Minnesota minus 105. I know that it burned us last time. I know that they went out to just absolutely pulverize us and ruin what should have been an easy NBA winning night, but Minnesota money line, they get it done for us, our one official play on Lindy's for Thursday. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know how much you missed me on Wednesday. I missed you guys too, for what it's worth. Good to be back with you here. Let's have a great Thursday. In the premium Discord, Lindy5 is active. If you guys want to sign up, check it out for a week. Less than $1 a day. Less than $1 a day to come kick it. And that is going to lead into the NBA play-in tournament. That has all of the MLB goodness. Come and see me there. Pick 'em cards, all the goodness. Thank you, producer Jacob. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB and NBA streets on Thursday in Premium Discord. We're going to have a lot more plays. Stay tuned.